pictures I sent you guys is that's approximately probably 300 feet long
Okay,
and then probably maybe 100 foot wide.
Hmm.
And then they told us to stay off of it, like a good 100 feet all the way around because they don't know
wow,
what's going to happen.
really?
Hmm.
Did anybody else nearby have?
No,
any?
Livingston County Soil was the only one that came up, and
Yeah.
they're extremely interested in it because it's an anomaly for them.
Yeah,
This is the first one this far north that they've seen.
wow,
So, and we're on the edge to that. I mean, we're not on the edge. We're on rock here, and that's
yeah,
the characteristic of the rock, I guess. So,
Interesting.
I know.
Did you say sinkholes in Livingston County?
I can't hear you.
Did you say there were sinkholes also in Livingston?
There was a couple in Livingston County that they've got down there. They didn't really specify a lot about it, but there is a couple in Livingston County, and this is the first one as far north as this that they know of. No.
Are you gonna make us all even now? Oh, really? My husband has a bad cold.
No, I just can't sleep.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Busy. Just a lot of things going on.
At work?
Yeah. You know. So when you get home,
Get
your
your
mind's
corn
racing.
now or no, it's starting up.
yeah, the starting corn,
That's terrible.
I see them
Your
picking up
mind's
London.
just going.
All the time.
We're at
yeah.
251 there.
Nice and Dolls have done a little bit. Rieger did a little bit. I did Paul and Marty Miller's beans the past couple of days, so
Mhm.
I don't. Maybe when the weather breaks again next week, I might get in the corn, see what it feels like. I don't know. Still felt pretty wet,
Right,
just hand shelling it.
cost money.
Felt sticky still, so, you know, what it looks like when you load a truck, and it's just like here in mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what it felt
But that-
like.
Good.
That style
I-
structure. So concrete sides and then.
and that would be. in
We're
that-
gonna put some corn in next year for ear
That's in the
corn.
New York site where
We have
the nice thing.
few
is
guys
once
buying
you
it from
get
us,
the
you know.
initial cost of the
Just
build,
like squirrels and
like
stuff
if
like
that
that.
tarp goes bad. you can-
Squirrels and
Mm,
feed
Okay.
wildlife,
like
basically.
golf.
Well,
And
there's one guy down in
with,
Dansville, he
She works for them.
buying it
And
for
she
his
was explaining,
pigs
like, we
constantly.
just got talking.
Oh, really?
Come out and buy pickup loads at a time.
Yes, they're not cheap.
So,
Couldn't imagine how much the town of
there's
Mendon.
not a
built
huge
one.
market for it. You're not gonna get rich at it by any
You know,
means.
Oh.
sides,
oh, boy,
massive.
yeah,
I'm like, I could. not
Paul
imagine
picks a
how
bunch.
much
that cost.
Hmm.
Paul Miller does a bunch that he picks ear corn. He feeds it to he grinds it and feeds it to his
Is it
steers.
aluminum frame or?
Yeah, that,
Galvanized.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, galvanized
Shank,
trusses.
Dave Shank, he
And
bought a
then
bunch from
the-
us. That's what he was doing, grinding.
Mhm.
Then he bought the grinder from us.
So like the concrete blocks.
Then he's doing his own.
Yeah,
And
now.
then aluminum truck or galvanized trusses. that
Yeah.
goes over. And so when they pull the top though, they run straps and just go up. They drag from one side to the other and then it's strapped on the sides. A lot of the cost is usually size work.
It's in the big house on West Henrietta Road that Bruce used to own. They had the wedding barn there. What the hell they building behind that?
Just parks for pictures
So would
and
we put it in
events
the-
and stuff like that, I guess.
Would that be
You
costly?
don't have to for pictures.
They spend a lot of money there.
I bet.
That Party Man Catering
Yeah.
owns it now.
Yeah, I thought so.
But yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how far back that goes.
Yeah, I drive by that almost every day.
Nice and, you
Yeah,
know,
to go
buy
with
enough salt for a year
Lakeland.
rather than buy a little at a
That
time.
and taking the
Get that
kids to and from
Yeah.
school stuff.
Town of Henrietta, that's where they struggle, cause they almost ran out last year. Cause they can only store so much.
Yeah, they keep it all, I mean, every night,
Scary. how
it's
much they go
all
through.
lit up.
Right now.
Nobody lives there, but I guess they rent the house out to the
Yeah,
wedding party for the
I heard
weekend.
they were,
Yeah, that's what kills it.
Yeah,
Sandy says the house is cold. It's old.
Yeah. All those old houses are.
Wait. Unreal. All expensive things in there.
No,
We just built a playground. It's $100,000 for just the materials,
Hmm.
including the install. Which is about $145.
wow,
per pound.
yeah.
It's plastic, and some metal tubes.
And is my. Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Is that tax rate per 1,000 of assessed value?
Hmm?
Is that tax rate per 1,000 of assessed?
I believe so.
I just assumed it was, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's, looking at that, it seems like it's at because they're way undervalued. And they haven't reassessed, they're like at 50%.
Really?
They want, Brighton was gonna do it last year, but
Pushed it
because
off.
the numbers were gonna be so bad, they put it off.
John, the facilities guy.
They had a new assessor and they, because she was new, they could stop there.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah, just.
So that could get way worse.
Well,
Well, it would get way better, well, the rate.
Oh,
the
down,
rate
yeah,
would
yeah,
get
yeah,
way
yeah,
better,
yeah.
Which I don't know how that would work, but
Yeah.
Definitely, there's a lot going on. Like today we lost, had a water main break.
I think the Victor's
But it was very short.
it's low,
We
though, and I don't know how that.
Water
works.
authority was on top
Mm.
of it.
wow. Oh,
Cause the building won't hold enough residual pressure where you can get a flush. Give them the toilet.
mhm.
But they, well,
Other
they have some business over there.
But luckily they were able to,
In Victor.
yeah, yeah, says they can isolate it.
Yeah.
Move it.
Oh, good.
Yep, one big one to be exact.
Cause I haven't.
But then a ton of small stuff. Ton of small stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It broke on our side. They had decided kids over.
Mm,
There's two other plazas besides the mall.
There's no end in sight.
Yeah.
We
That-
got-
We're full. And then there's,
Oh,
oh,
the industrial stuff.
Yeah.
Going down 251 lanes.
yeah,
There's a ton of stuff.
too many kids.
Time ago, so luckily it was resolved within like probably 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, wow,
Yeah, it was pretty quick today.
wow. That is fast.
It's funny, though, Monroe County, they've already had. You know how they just made these.
good evening. Welcome to the town board meeting for October 29th. You please join me in pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're gonna have a discussion of the budget tonight, but because we found out that we didn't notice the public hearing correctly, we have to have another public hearing before we move forward with the budget. So basically, we need to set a new public hearing for it'll be next week.
Supervisor, do you want me to call the roll first?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, please.
Councilwoman Morale,
Here,
Councilman Chase.
Here.
Councilman Pies.
Here.
Councilman Brown,
Here.
Supervisor Wilbur.
Aye, or here. So we need a resolution to schedule a new public hearing on the budget.
I so move to schedule a public hearing regarding the 2026 preliminary budget on Wednesday, November 5th, 2025 at 7:15 PM at the offices of the Rush Town Hall, 5977 East Henrietta Road, Rush, New York, 14543. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Morale,
aye.
Councilman Chase,
Aye.
Councilman Pies,
Aye.
Councilman Brown,
Aye.
Supervisor Wilbur.
Aye. And that's really all the business we need to accomplish this evening.
Well, I'd like to talk about the budget. It's on the agenda.
Be a public,
I don't know.
will be a public comment period.
We've already talked about the budget and we need to have there will be another opportunity to talk about it.
I wouldn't say so. It's not a regular scheduled town.
This
board
isn't a
meeting, it's
regular,
Special
this is
meeting.
a special meeting.
But it is a discussion of the budget. And I emailed you in advance. We didn't discuss anything, but just that I would like to take this opportunity due to this delay. As I said, it was kind of a divine intervention when I thought about it, to have another opportunity to talk about a change to the health insurance plans offered to town employees. It would save, again, a very simple change, and I sent you the illustration of the alternative. Would save 80 grand to the town this year. And it's still a generous plan to employees. Town will still cover 90% for the Gold 17 plan. Anybody who wishes to stay in the Platinum plan, well, their contribution would have to be 25% versus 10%. And that would create the town's contribution equal between the two plans. So it would be fair in that regard. We could do this, we could save money. We could use some of that money to do maybe other repairs that we're putting off that are sorely needed. A couple of residents sent us all information on the pond in area. I didn't even know there was a retention pond on Middle Road that hasn't been cleaned out in 10 years and
know about it
resulted, I'm sorry?
I didn't know about it either till a month or so ago.
Well, it turned out that it overflowed in that rainstorm and the residents over there got flooded. So we could use that money to do that, for example, something that's sorely needed. I think the email that we all got in that regard said that, we're constrained by, budget constraints from doing that kind of work. For a
I don't
bunch
mean
of
to-
residents.
I don't mean to interrupt, I guess, but I did speak to our highway superintendent and he said it's not as much of a restraint in our budget issues as it's a priority issue. And right now our priorities are focusing on retaining the water flow that damaged a lot of properties in the hamlet.
Mhm.
So it's not so much a matter of funding, according to our highway supervisor, our highway superintendent. It's a more of prioritizing the work that needs to get done first. So, and I think we can all agree that there was a lot of property damage done in the hamlet, not
No
just
doubt.
for, residents and this town building itself.
Oh, I agree. I'm
So
not
I-
denying that. We got it.
But in talking to DJ, after I got the email, I said, what's the deal here? And he said, we're prioritizing the work to take care of the properties or the water issues we have that are affecting the actual properties that were damaged. I mean, talk to residents down through here. They had to replace furnaces, water heaters for the second time in 10 years. I don't know if there was any kind of property damage like that on Middle Road where they were replacing huge fixtures, but it's something that I think the highway department's looking at, but I don't think that it's as much of a budgetary issue as it is just prioritizing the work that's getting done. And as far as the other stuff, it's the same plan you presented to us a week ago.
Yep.
And my feelings haven't changed. I don't think that making a haste decision right now without discussing it with Brown and Brown department heads and really figuring out the best plan, I don't think that doing it so quickly right now is the best choice for the town. Our budget is balanced. We're not going over the 2%. I think
Please.
that's where I'm at. I'm going to ask the public right now. This is not a public comment period. You guys can reserve that for next week. We're discussing it as a board. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's where we're at right now. So next week, any of those views can be brought back up again. I'm not trying to be rude. So I'm just saying, I'm giving you information that I had gotten. I'm giving information to the board that I had gotten after a discussion with the highway superintendent. He's not doing Middle Road. It's just, there's other things that need to be done that he's focusing on getting done and looking into right now. It's something that is on his radar. It's just, right now, we want to take care of the bigger issue that is costing residents and the town a lot of money. So
I know, and it is costing the town a lot of money, even though I know it's highway, it's availability and time to get things done. But I'm sure that there's going to be a cost to it, whatever we've got to do to make the water flow better, or, there's got to be some cost to that. I'm saying we have an opportunity. You can come up with another plan, whoever's on this board next year, should look at it again. You should look at it every year. It should be looked at every year. That's what businesses do. And then they make a decision as to what to offer. And that's exactly what employees are doing. In my firm, people were going to meetings today to decide what plan they're taking.
And
Come up with here's your base plan. Here's your base plan, people.
but I'm sure that your employer had looked into this for months ahead of time before it was presented, and we've looked into it for 2 weeks.
Well, a little bit longer than that, but we got a little
Still,
reprieve here.
yeah.
We got a little extra time. It's, you know, we've got enough to be able to make a decent decision. When I saw the alternatives, it was like, yeah, we could live with that. And I think people could live with that. It's a good plan. We're not taking away benefits. We're not just saying, you know, oh, we can't cover you. No insurance. We're not going to do that anymore. We're changing it to a more reasonable plan, still a good plan, still a good benefit. And I think it's a terrible mistake not to make that consideration and make that change. You know, easy peasy 80 grand in the town's to the bottom line of the town where we know we've got, God only knows what they're going to uncover when they figure out what we need to do to divert flooding in the town of Rush. I don't know. I know it's going to cost something. Probably more than 80 grand. So I think we need to do that. People need to share in this and not just have the burden on the residents of the town of Rush. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. And I would just plead with you to make that change. I would also like to know, as we look at the fund balances, you know, we're in the middle of things happening with Horseshoe Solar. And the town received $45,000 last year from the intervenor funds, which are supposed to be used, we were all part of that, supposed to be used towards monitors, legal, whatever we have to do.
Some of that went to Ben Wisniewski.
Excuse me,
Some of that went to Ben Wisniewski.
not the 40 grand.
Just believe it did.
All the money, Ben got paid in full, $45,000, whatever the number, you know, forgive me, it was 42, 45, was the excess after everybody was paid. That came totally back into the
We could
town.
not pay, Ben did work for us that wasn't covered by intervenor funds that we had to pay for.
How much was that?
I don't have the numbers.
Well,
in
to
front of-
my knowledge, we were not out of pocket
We were out.
any amount of money.
We were.
And if it was, it's really, really small, really small.
I'll have to have Janice look at it.
Well, then do that. I'd like to see that because we could get that number. At any rate, that number should be made available. We got stuff going on with Horseshoe now, you know. I don't know where they're gonna come back at with this radius for well testing, but we were clearly under the impression that they were going to, you know, use 1,000 foot from the whole project. And there's not that many houses in the town of Rush that this is insignificant for a firm like Invenergy to cover this. I'm hoping that they're going to do the right thing and not fight us on this, because that was clearly the impression. And that's the letter that I copied you. I sent you the letter that they sent out to the residents. Everybody's expecting that 1,000 foot to be included. They all got the letters already that they're going to come around, have their wells tested. One or two people did, and then things fizzled out. Everything got put on hold. I'm saying, I hope this doesn't come down. Like,
Well,
who's gonna be looking at this stuff, Dan?
I'm
next
gonna
year.
hope to find out at the meeting on Monday. What's going on?
I know. Well, we damn well better, because otherwise I think we got a fight on our hands. And we need, you know, to do our best to enforce what's right for the residents. We just have to do that.
Yeah.
And we've got the money to spend and make sure, because if they're testing us on this one, you know, everything is all nice, hunky-dory, friendly. I want to keep it that way. I've enjoyed the meetings we've had. They seem to be very cordial and open, but like, don't test us. We're a small town, but we know what we're entitled to.
Mhm.
So that's another thing, an intervener. So I'd like that money set aside to use to fight for the town of Rush. I went back, and this is all affects the budget because I need to understand.
Mhm.
When we get a bill in, like from Blue Cross Blue Shield. We all look at the abstract. So it's broken out by general fund, highway, library. So the cost is allocated to the various departments.
Mhm.
And so I see that the expense is allocated properly, but how are the checks written? Is there one check written or three checks?
If there's one.
So here's my question. Where does the one check come from? I'm
So
sorry?
Combination of all those accounts.
The
One account.
accounts, but when do we actually transfer it from one fund to another? Do we do that?
Janice is on, you can ask her.
Janice, you hear me?
I can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so the bank accounts, we have a consolidated checking account. So each of those funds put into the consolidated checking to cover any of the bills or payroll or anything along those lines.
Okay, good. So then, in other words, if I'm understanding you correctly, the various funds are drawn down to go into that consolidated checking account. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that our accounting for the various funds were, I start to think about these things and, but thank you. Those are my questions that would affect this. I'd like to see the intervenor funds split out, and a commitment to use it. And that does affect the budget because I don't want that money used for other things. It's got to be used to protect the town of Rush, you know, and that was the origin of that. And we all sat in that meeting when we made the agreements with Invenergy, the three of us here at least. But I'm telling you guys, that was the agreement at the time.
I
So
believe
let's,
Last week, we were all pretty much in agreement that we would like that water testing to be done.
yes, I'm glad yes, I think we're unified.
I think that that's a pretty simple ask.
I agree. So let's hope that they do the right thing and just say, you're right. And we're gonna do it.
Right, that's what we would all like
But,
to
and
see.
I'm hoping we don't have to spend it on an attorney too.
I think that a simple ask should be enough.
And I did,
get
you
it
saw that. I copied you in
Yep.
on the email I sent
Yes, and
to Invenergy.
we're all, I think we're all on the same boat. I think
Okay, good.
that's something, I know that there's some setbacks, but I think that it's a pretty simple thing. If you can get around and get some water samples done, I would even encourage the residents at the same time to do their own private water sample to have a comparison to it, to be honest with you. And just make sure that everything's on the same page. If it was me, I would pull water at the same time and send it somewhere private and have my own test done, so. I don't know, that's just me.
Talking with some drillers, this boring that's going under the Genesee River is probably the least of the problems that the town would have, or the people over there. They use a clay water slurry that pulls the rock cuttings out of the hole. Very mundane product. The 1,000+ holes that they're gonna drive into the rock to hold the support of the solar panels is more of a critical issue, because that fractures the rock as it goes in.
Mhm.
So we're gonna spend money. We wanna be kind of paying attention how we wanna spend it, what's the bang for the dollar. The drilling under the Genesee River, that's a concern, but that's the least of the concerns of all the potential issues that are gonna be coming at us. So just spend the money wisely. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
I'd rather not spend any of it at this point because we still have to hire monitors when they really start doing the pounding those
Right. And
posts
when-
in.
and
But-
those are gonna take one of those going in 2 years.
Yes,
So if you do a water test now, they say they did the water test in 2 years. They start pounding away, we're gonna require them to do another water test. That's what I'm saying. We gotta kind of like think this out and how you wanna pick your poison.
well,
I'm for protecting the people, don't get me wrong,
I know,
but
but it will cost them nothing relatively little to do water testing now. And if they got to do it again later on, then do it. But
Protect their interests, if nothing else.
well, everybody's interests.
Right.
Let's start off on the right foot here.
So I'm just saying, I'm just trying to bring out the point that the critical path is the post pounding. Not so much this drilling. The drilling is probably a mundane thing. But you want to get it tested, we can get them tested.
I think the residents are under the impression that was the deal when they got those letters.
I mean, I'm not trying to steer it one way or the other. I'm just trying to make you aware of
Thank you.
the critical path, I guess.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. That's all I had with regard to things that may affect the budget.
At this point, I'm still fine with the insurance. I think it should be looked at. I think we should have the employees that are affected by the insurance get involved next year. To even talk about getting a different broker to see what's available and how it can move forward. But I think it's too close to change now.
I,
That's my opinion.
I think we need to sit down and have input from at a minimum department heads.
I'm torn on this because I think it's late in the game to change it. But I like Jeannie's thought. I think that's the reality of the world out there.
Everybody's doing it. Everybody.
And that's basically the same thing with my company does. They give you the base plan, you want to go up, you pay for it.
Right.
Which I'm not disagreeing with that mindset, but your companies have probably looked into this for months leading up to that.
I'm not saying yay or nay.
Okay.
That's the PR
Okay.
operation of it.
Yeah.
But I think we're kind of like, we're at the end of the rope and really don't have much further to go with it. And
We've got an opportunity. We've got good numbers. We know what it's gonna cost. You have it, I have it. Still a good plan for employees. Still doing a nice benefit. I think it's a huge mistake.
We've been doing it for 4 years, so.
That doesn't mean anything. We're
Well, Gene, you went along with it for 3 years.
every
Have
year I
you
said,
complained? And
you
then-
know I have,
And-
we gotta do something, get something in here, this needs to be addressed. To you and the supervisor before you. I'm not saying it's all on you, but you've been here and I have come to talk to you about it. And Janice is like, we gotta do something because we've gotta look at this, this cost is ridiculous. So yes, I have come in and
We should
talked
do
about it.
something, and I think next year, look at it and start sooner. This is just too quick and that's just where I feel.
I agree.
We'll see.
Okay. We'll have the public hearing. And we'll
At the public hearing, see what comes up.
Okay, are we done talking about the budget?
We're
I
done.
just have one other thing. Of course. I'd like to get on our agenda, the residential code section. Let's get that done.
let's get through the budget. Okay, I was thinking about that also today, Gene,
Yeah.
because it had been put off, but we've been dealing with this budget, it seems like for almost 2 months.
We
now.
have been.
So,
I actually called Dan about it today. I said, we
Yeah.
haven't talked about residential in a while.
Yeah,
He said Scott and John are out right now,
John's starting to hobble around. I haven't heard about Scott yet.
so,
so I mean, they
yes.
can zoom in, but we've got enough information
yes.
that we can talk. We've got all the notes. Can we get it on? We can at least put it on the agenda. We can schedule it.
can we schedule it for like our second meeting in November, maybe? Like,
We have
let's-
two local laws that have not been codified into the town code because of the cost, and you were already maxed this year.
But we have to, this is our business. We've got to do these things. We can't
I
not
just
do
want
it.
you to know that the costs, please consider the cost when you are doing all these local laws. Please consider that.
Right, and I think
Because
that's
that
kind of why
goes
we
My
have
counselor
ours.
to the town board,
Yeah.
so. I know those have to be done, but consider that too.
But you could still have the discussions and have it teed up and ready to go and, the language discussed, I don't think there's any.
I don't know why we can't do it. Like, we got it, we can't not codify laws. That doesn't make sense to me. I know you're saying there's a cost to it.
No, you're misconstruing what I'm saying. In order, you codify them, you send them to the state, and they become part of your law. But you also have to pay to get them put into the code that you all have and that everybody uses.
But we could put them on our website. At least we could,
Yeah,
that doesn't mean we shouldn't do the
but-
business of the town.
Yeah.
Those are costs too, that consolidating, I want you to know that.
Is it per code or is it if we bundled a bunch together?
If you bundle a bunch together, it is less costly.
Okay.
So right now we have 2 on hold that we're not paying for yet. But they're on,
So when we finish,
The law's been
the
adopted.
laws have been adopted,
Okay.
yeah,
so when we finish residential code, we could put those 3 together.
yes.
Okay.
How about Monday, November 10th? We're meeting next Wednesday for this, for the hearing, but the following Monday, the 10th of November.
Can we do it during a town, can we put it on a regular town board agenda?
You can just, you want Scott and John there?
They don't
John-
need to be. We've got so much, they can zoom in if they want. But they could zoom in easily enough. I know John can. He's well enough to do that, but we have so much information from all the presentations that I think we can go forward and make some decisions, get this wrapped up.
I would do it on, I'd put it on the 12th.
And we have a presentation from Todd on the 12th too, just
Yeah, Invenergy is coming.
on the 12th.
Okay, so I think we can still get it in on the 12th.
Yeah, that's probably 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll figure. Discuss.
Start early or stay late.
So
Depends how-
Todd said 7:15.
Mm-hmm.
You want to start early?
No, I say we keep it regular, and if we stay late, we stay late.
Okay. We'll add that to the agenda for the 12th.
Okay.
All right, then. I've conducted all the business. Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Favor?
Aye.
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 Thanks, everybody.
Pull up over this stuff. Sign up. Stick it in a mailbox. I'm just gonna go down the list. So Gene, when I'm done with this, I'll
I'm
put
sorry.
it,
Oh, what is that?
it's facts and figures for the Monroe County School Board Association.
Oh.